Hello and welcome to today's video on how to start a club or society. In today's video I'll be showing you the process of starting a club through our club's homepage. In addition to, I'll also be showing you all the documents and details you'll need throughout the process. So basically let's begin. I'm just going to be using Chrome for today's video. However, you can use Firefox, Internet Explorer and Safari at your will. There's very little difference when you're doing it. So straight away, the first website is just clubs.uow.edu.au, but if you've already found this video, chances are you already know what that is. The next thing to do, obviously, is just simply clicking that Start a Club tab. Now, what that will do, will take you to this page I've just got up here. Now, the really important thing to notice before we begin the process is just noticing that checklist and the handbook resources. So first off is the checklist. Really important simply because it outlines all the things I'm going to be talking about today as we go through them. Plus, obviously, just a little bit of background for you to know as well before you begin the process. Obviously, having those 10 club member details can be a bit daunting to get them all together at the one time. So knowing that in advance is actually quite helpful. The next thing after that as well was that link to the handbook page, which is just this one here. Now, you'll see there's a PDF for you to download, which looks like this. Basically, the handbook is the guide for how to run your club. It has details such as the ones I'm going through today on how to start a club, which is on page 6, but also things like how to host an AGM or how to apply for funding as well. The next thing we do, obviously, is then simply, now that we have all this information, we just simply start a club. That'll take you to this page here, which is the first of the 4-step form. And really simple to begin with, what is the name of your club or society? For today's video, I'm just going to be doing it on behalf of the Centre for Student Engagement, which is obviously where clubs and societies are based. And we already have our own abbreviation of CSE. Now, with the abbreviation, some clubs get a bit creative with them, and they're really helpful at helping to establish your brand and a brand within the UOW community, which can be really helpful in terms of getting future members. The next thing after that, obviously, is the club logo as well. So with that, with this form, you're not required to have that, but it's recommended if you obviously do have it. We just don't have the requirements simply because we understand that as new clubs, you're still getting things together, and putting a logo can sometimes be the last sort of thing on the list once you just need to get the people together first. After that, we simply select our category. So in this case, we're just going to go with a special interest, but you'll see there it's a pretty exhaustive list of all the different things you can apply to be under. The next thing after that is your webpage theme. So once you become a club through us, we actually do provide you with a full webpage sort of functionality where you can put together events, you can set up ticketing for systems for events, and you can obviously put out news items and newsletters, a whole range of features and functions that become available to you. So the webpage theme is something that can be adjusted later, so don't get too caught up when you're selecting this. And then obviously the applicant's details as well. Usually it is the secretary of the club or the president. More than happy to work with both, or anyone else within the club on this sort of stuff as well. So then after that, we just simply then go on to the club details. So the aims and / objectives. Really important here, simply because this is what separates clubs from one another. Now, the reason we have to have this part in particular is that we can't have clubs overlap in terms of aims and objectives, and it can become a serious issue in terms of trying to make sure that the best interests of the members are being served. The next stage after that is the activities of the club. So the activities are essentially what you're going to be doing to achieve your aims and objectives. So obviously for CSE, it's to engage students across UOW campuses and become a part of defining the experience for students at UOW. Now we do that via these means, so our clubs and societies, which you're obviously becoming a part of, the leadership programs we offer, entertainment, volunteering, our Good Life series, and there's much more to add to that as well, but we've got a limited time frame here. So the next thing there as well is a membership fee. Now, you'll see there in the notes, it does say a minimum of $5 if it's going to be implemented. Now, a lot of our clubs don't have membership fees simply because it becomes a little bit of a barrier to signing people up at clubs day, etc. So they'll often do, if they do have costs associated with running their club, such as a particular event, they'll just simply sell tickets and add an extra cost on for that event. The next thing, obviously, as well, is the request to affiliate letter. Now, I'm just going to add in that, the calendar plan and the IGM minutes, so just bear with me. And we're back. So, the first thing there was the request to affiliate letter. So this letter basically, you'll see that there was a template there on the website as well. It's just outlining your club is going to become affiliated with CSE. So it's almost just as simple as inserting these details here. And then it's literally that simple. That's, yeah. Obviously read it as well before you sign it, but that's all we require for you on that front. The next thing there obviously is the calendar plan. Now the calendar plan can be really important depending on what type of club you are and obviously what events you're going to be having throughout the year. So you'll use this basically to outline your strategic plans for the rest of the year. Particularly for faculty-based clubs, this can be really important. As you're applying for SAF funding, you need to be able to show, obviously, your relative committees that you're committed to your programs and what you're going to be doing throughout the year. The next document after that then is simply the IGM minutes. So IGM, if you didn't know, stands for Inaugural General Meeting. Now that's obviously meaning the first meeting you have of your club where you outline your strategic objectives, etc., that we've already discussed, and obviously where you're going to select your president, secretary and treasurer and any other executive roles that you want to add in there as well. So you'll see here, again, it's a very basic template that you can fill in. You can, by all means, add more detail to it. We're always okay with that. In terms of things here like first name, last name, contact email, and contact phone number, basically we're going to need those details. And in fact, we'll probably need a couple more, such as date of birth for the executive, simply because we'll need to set up bank accounts for the club as we go forward. And then the next thing, the last thing there we'll need is the club constitution. Now, the constitution obviously is the rules that are going to be governing your club. So this will be things like AGMs, voting rights, all that sort of thing that'll be used for the constant running of your club. Now, it's really important that you take the constitution seriously because we've seen clubs in the past run into problems when they haven't had a well-rounded constitution based around who they are and what they're about. So just keep that in mind, that this is a really important document that'll help maintain the longevity of your club, but also the effective running of it. And then, so after we have that, we've got this link here where it says, sorry, not link, extra part of the form where it says affiliated with another body. Now, this part here is usually reserved for clubs that are, say, branches of other clubs. So things like charities, not-for-profit organisations, they'll often have another body, and it's just really important that we're aware of any other affiliations you have, just to make sure that there's no conflicts of interest or other governance issues around that. So in our situation for CSE, we're obviously a part of Unicentre, which provides administrative and financial support to us. So it's just important to make sure that you declare any sort of interest like this. And then obviously if you have more than one, you can just simply add as you go. And then the next stage that we go on to is step 3. This is the part where, as we stated before, you needed that is 10 minimum members. So as you'll see there in as well, 60% of these must have current UOW student IDs. Now I've obviously made dummy names up here with dummy student numbers, and they're all going to have the same email and same phone number. Now this is important in that sense, just because, like I said before, about those details that we need for bank account appointments and obviously being in contact with you throughout the year, that we just need them to be as accurate as possible. And also obviously your other members that are going to be on there as well. So like we said, you're going to need those 10 founding members. You are more than welcome to add more at your will as you go throughout this process, just because some people do like to be recognised as founding members of clubs. So that's that stage done there. And then simply we just hit the next button one more time, and then we come across our terms and conditions, which I already am aware of, so I'm going to tick, but please make sure you do read them before you go on through. Now you'll see here, it hasn't really given me these details here simply because it's known that I've kind of dummied it, also with the same email, phone number and student numbers as well, so it can't link them up. That's why it's just giving me those blank boxes. So yeah, once we get to this stage, it's literally just the straight good old submit button. But just keep in mind, so once we've done that, the next stage is for us to get back in contact with you. So that'll generally take around 3 business days, just depending on what's going on at the time. And yeah, it's literally that simple. So once you submit, 3 business days, we'll get back in. Within 3 business days, we'll get back in contact.